We're also getting your day started with some music this morning. Local rapper GrandAce is talking with us in just a moment. Next on Good Morning Cincinnati.
So clutch, don't go through the trouble. Sorry if I kept you waiting, this is normal. I fall into habits, chasing rabbits for a safe space. There's just one more level till I reach a safe state.
There's no beaches in Ohio. Don't get no list, my friend, that's denial. Beauty is so deep as the shades of gray. Sometimes you wanna laugh like the canopy. Ton of memories, throwing sand, the water by your feet. Someone screaming.
Beaches in Ohio. That was local rapper GrandAce, who's wrapping up a very busy year. Joins us here in studio this morning to talk about some of his new music, and he puts out a lot of it. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Well, thank you for having me today. I'm happy to be here.
So glad you're here. I was telling you, I was on your website a little bit, checking out some of the songs. There's just a certain flow. There's a certain
bounce
yeah,
to it. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
As soon as I came on, you kind of can't help it. But you are prolific. That's one of the takeaways I had from visiting your website. It's you don't pull out, you put out a big 10, 12 track albums, but you put out 4 or 5 tracks at a time. Is that just an approach that you like?
Absolutely. I feel that given the landscape today of the way that people actually consume music, I think it's more beneficial for me as a, I've been in it for 8 years, but like as a newer artist on the scene, people are less likely to invest like a whole hour into discovering new music and new art. So by doing the EP approach, it allows me to be able to craft the world, but the listener is more readily able to get in and get out and see if they're like feeling the music.
How does it affect your storytelling? By that I mean some people will do an album where it's almost like the entirety of the album tells a story. For you, is it each EP tells a story, or is each individual track sort of its own thing?
I like to try to, if I'm able to, challenge myself to do both in a project. And I feel that with doing the EP format, it's really good at removing the filler. So I'm able to get to the core of the story and the core of the message that I'm really trying to reach, and then I'm just like, okay, that's what it is. There's no padding throughout the process.
You don't have that 2 or 3 tracks where you're like,
you really didn't want that on
okay,
there.
but I need 2 or 3 more.
Exactly.
I got you. So you said you've been in this part of the game for 8 years. I know you're a filmmaker as well.
Yes.
Did you transition from one to the other, or does one sort of inform the other?
It's really interesting. I think they both inform one another.
Okay.
I started doing film first, or really just video making online. I was on YouTube in like 2008 making different types of videos, but then later—
That was before everybody was on YouTube.
Hey, I'm the earliest to the game.
There you go.
And once I hit around sophomore year, I was working with a friend, and their dad actually introduced me to the music software. And from that point on, I was spending like 16 hours a day, every day during the summer, just making music. And I was like, you know what? Senior year, I wanted to study applied physics. But at some point, I was like, I'm not going on YouTube looking up physics videos every single day. Why don't I try to pursue what I love if I'm going to be doing it for the next 60 plus years?
Wow.
So I landed on music. And now it's kind of like the way that my brain works, I see elements of film and music, and I see elements of music and film and the rhythms and everything.
I love it. I love it. Before I let you get out of here, if you were to compare yourself to any artist, and I know everybody is their own individual, but who would you compare yourself to?
I don't know. That's really hard. I'd say some of my bigger influences are like your Sade's, your Childish Gambinos, your Erykah Badu's, your Tyler the Creators, people along those lines. Because ultimately, I just want to make music that makes people feel something, and I want to connect with as many people as possible, and I just want to make the world as bright as I can on the way out.
I love that, man.
Thank you.
I love that. It's got a good flow to it as
you.
well. We're going to let GrandAce's song, No Beaches in Ohio, play us out to break. You're on Spotify and all that kind of stuff too, right?
You can find me at The GrandAce on all social media platforms, and GrandAce on all major music streaming profiles. Give it a whirl. Let's take us a break now. Thank you.
Enjoy that lot. Thank you so much.
Go, and if I try something better, if the situation on my shredder fade. Plus the weather's great. If you love the sound of rain, I avoid the puddles, still not